What is shaking, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon and have a great weekend. Dennis Ranahan's going to join us. You can see him right now. Going to join us in just a second. Steve Kerr will join us after that. Want to remind you that our show today is brought to you by Fieldwork, the official non-alcoholic craft beer of the San Jose Sharks. Oh God, we got trouble. I thought you were locked away. Apparently, you're not locked. Apparently, you're not locked away. You were locked away. And then I heard her hooves, so to speak, coming down the pavement way. I go, oh God, there's Lou. Yeah, my daughter's over on the side going, oh, you didn't want her out? Well, she hogs the whole thing. I mean, she just stands in front of everybody like, hey, nobody can see me.
You get upstage, Tom. You get upstage.
You can leave her. I know, Lou. You messed up my sponsor. I'm trying to tell the people what's going on with Fieldwork. So there's official non-alcoholic craft beer of the Sharks. They do have the full leaded variety, though. I'm drinking one right now. This is a pulp, and you can get the pulp at the Shark Tank as well when you're watching your Sharkies play. And if Tyler Toffoli scores or gets an assist, you win. Hopefully the Sharks win. But you do. You can go to Fieldwork, get 50% off a draft beer or a non-alcoholic beverage if Tyler Toffoli scores or gets an assist, gets a helper, as they say in hockey. So we're all here. You know what? She can help keep me warm, Dennis. I'm like, I got my fleece shorts on. I got my Big Lebowski sweater on. I can actually see my breath out here. Like, it's not that cold. It's like low to mid 50s, but I don't know why I can see my breath.
It's not mid 50s. It's 45, 47 degrees.
Where you're at, not where I'm at.
Where I'm at. Is it warmer where you are? It's 47 degrees here.
Is it really?
Yeah. I was, well, that's what I said on my car when I was driving today.
Let's see what I got. I got 56. I don't know what it feels like, but yeah. But I can see my breath. I don't know. It's not enough. It's not like the frozen tundra. Like, not everybody's going to see it, but I can definitely see it. So I'm a little chilly. So I'm doing the smart thing. I got a fire to my left and a beer to my right. Beer's not necessarily helping, but that's just the way it is. All right, let's see if we can get some winners.
Before we get to winners, I got to tell you, I so much enjoyed your section with Charles Barkley this week. I love Charles. Yeah, I don't know Charles, but I love Charles. And one of the reasons why I love him is my best friend, JR, who lives in Florida, happened to be traveling and was in Memphis in that hotel where the ducks walk across the floor.
Oh, yeah. I think it's called the Peabody, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the Peabody. Okay. And he was having lunch there, and he noticed Charles was also having lunch, and he was in a booth there. And he said he couldn't believe it, but person after person after person, all through the lunch. Hey, Charles, Charles would sign his autograph and say something nice to him and never flinched, never said, come on, I'm trying to have lunch. Not once. And he said he was amazed at what a gentleman he was to his public. Then I'm reading an article that they wrote about Charles, and they talked, and Charles said, well, that's my job. You think I just play basketball or just do sports on the TV? No, that's the public. That's who I got to have them. That's my job, is to take, so that's just, I'm at work when what a great attitude. What a great attitude, and your exchange with him was so wonderful. But I mean, he's lost so much weight.
I know.
His glasses, he hasn't adjusted his glasses. He looks like Urkel behind those glasses. You know what I'm looking at him going, Charles, you don't fit those glasses anymore.
Nah, he's one of the most generous people. I didn't even get a chance to talk about that because I was going to talk about tipping in the NBA and in professional sports, where a lot of guys make a lot of money and aren't very good tippers. And that's kind of how I judge someone, not completely. But Charles, great tipper, just super generous with his time, with his money. Shaq, same way, super generous. Time, money.
Tolbert,
I mean,
same way.
They're both. I don't have as much to give, but but I do try to be that way because it's not that hard to be that way. And if you can make someone happy just by, signing something or saying hi or talking to them for 30 seconds, it seems to be the right thing to do in my eyes anyway. So I wanted to ask him about that, like where that philosophy came from, because he is super generous. But I mean, with Charles, yeah, I could have gone on another 2
Oh,
hours.
it was a great extent. And you saw the comments after, one after another, saying, I could have listened to you two all day.
Yeah,
Because
he just,
I mean, you're both there. You have stories, the Larry Bird stories, just
yeah,
nicely, and you both got Larry Bird stories.
yeah,
When Bird, he's white, isn't he? You're gonna have a
yeah,
white guy guarding him?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have got into the Celtics Sixers rivalry more, because that was an intense rivalry back in the 80s. I didn't get to ask him about the Bird Dr. J fight, which was a good one. I mean, that was just there's so much good stuff. And when I grew up watching basketball, Charles was probably 5-6 years older than I am. So, I was watching him in the 80s when it was Magic and Bird and Barkley and Moses and Kareem, and I mean so many others. So yeah, I mean, he's the best. He is, and I'm happy for him that he's lost the weight, because I know he's fought it forever, and it's so hard to lose weight. Like I lost 30 pounds. I kept it off, and I tell everybody, if you want to lose weight, just have like open heart surgery. I go, that'll drop weight in a heartbeat. The downside is you could die. That kind of sucks. But if you make it through, you're good to go.
I lost 45 pounds too, but I wouldn't recommend the weight loss program.
Yeah, we don't recommend getting a big. I got a big scar though, which is nice. Anyway, let's get to the game. Let's get to the games, because we got Steve Kerr coming up pretty soon. Got one in the bag. Had one last night. Detroit over Dallas. I like that one too. So when you liked it, I was like, oh, good. I'm glad he liked it. It went from 3 to 3.5 and never went back down. And I knew everybody was taking Dallas, because why wouldn't you take Dallas right now? Dallas is on fire. Of course, Dallas is at home a lot when they're on fire, not so much on the road. So anyway, that one's in the rear view. We got that one in the bag. Looking forward to some winners this week. Let me ask you about KC Houston. This is going to be one of the marquee games of the weekend. And my thoughts on this are, sometimes you can be better than your record indicates, and sometimes you can be worse. Now, I do subscribe to the Bill Parcells theory that you are what your record says you are, because that's what you are. But I think the Chiefs are probably slightly better than their record because of the underlying metrics. I thought they were slightly worse last year, because all the one-score wins they had last year. This year, they're not getting the one-score love. They're losing, I think, all but one-score game. So my reason, Dennis, for this one is pretty simple. If KC has one more shot at this, like if they run the table, they're still going to be in. And I still think Kansas City is going to be favored against most AFC teams in the playoffs. I do, on the road, at home. But they got to win this one. This one, I think they're not mathematically eliminated, but this one, I think it'll be over. Houston's coming off a grinder of a game, a tough game, a divisional game against Indy. They put themselves back in it, but they spent a lot of their emotion last week, I thought, against Indy. I don't know what the numbers are. You'll know what the numbers are, but the line went up today from 3 to 3.5. I think a handicapper that I know very well might have released that one. So I would have liked it at 3. I don't mind it at 3.5, but I feel like one last swing for KC, Dennis, and Houston spent a lot of their emotional tank last week, a lot in the tank last week.
Well, I do agree with you that Houston spent a lot last week, but they got a lot left in that tank. This was a team that when you talk about teams that are better than their record or worse than the record, well, I put the Texans in that category too, that they're much better than their record. They lost a lot of close games early, and they were losing because their offensive line was a problem. I mean, they couldn't protect, CJ, and they couldn't open holes for the runners. And yet their defense kept them in all those games. They weren't winning them. They were losing them close. Then when that offensive line seemed to have come together a bit, and they were winning, even with CJ out with the 3 weeks with the concussion, now he's back. Yep. This is his second game back. And as you well know, we had them last week over the Colts as our top play. I thought that was the spot that they would handle the Colts. Well, now we look at Kansas City, and I agree with you. It's very difficult to go against the Chiefs when you think this is going to eliminate them. Well, that's what we said last week, too, and they lost on Thanksgiving to Dallas. This could, they're not going to go to 6-6. Well, they did, and now we're in a situation where they're not going to go to 6-7. Why not? The only qualification you get to 6-7 is being 6-6, and so they're a game away from 6-7. And I'm real interested in seeing what the casino numbers are. I've watched that, that this is close to 52% on the wagering. That line has split it. And so when it moves up to 3.5, you're thinking, okay, we're in a situation where now, the people are coming in at the beginning of the weekend and traveling from the East and all that. They're hitting on the Chiefs. I understand hitting on the Chiefs. I won't be on the Chiefs, and I might be on the Texans.
Okay, very good. I might be on the Chiefs. I won't be on the Texans. So guess what?
People take a lot from us, Tom. Now, how can you have more credible information than that?
Both of us might not be on anything.
I feel like this is Amos and Andy. Well, I'll tell you that.
All right, let's go to Pittsburgh and Baltimore. This is one, God, I love taking Tomlin in this spot. And I think I'm going to love taking Tomlin in this spot after that loss. Like, I like them as underdogs. I didn't have them last week, but this seems like a really good spot for them because I can almost use your same argument that you used for Kansas City for Baltimore. Like, they're not going to lose this, are they, and fall back out of first place because, well, I've watched them play the last 3 weeks, mostly because Weston's a Ravens fan, so I get stuck watching Ravens games, which is fine. I don't mind watching Ravens games, and I like watching Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson hasn't been Lamar Jackson since he's come back from injury. Up. Yeah, that offense is not firing on all cylinders. And I know one thing. I know when you think you don't want to take the Steelers and they're underdogs, that's probably the time to take the Steelers. Tomlin's pretty good in these spots where it looks like things are they've peaked and they're starting to head down the mountain. And I don't know how good they're going to be at the end of the year, but I like him as an underdog. I love him as a divisional underdog. I think I'm going to be on Pittsburgh in this one, Dennis. How do you see it?
Well, I think it's interesting. You've got Tomlin never had a losing season. He's in his 17th, 18th year coaching the Steelers and never had a losing season. And 2 years ago, they said, oh, this could be the losing season. And then they won 3 of their last 4 games and didn't have the losing season. This year, they started out again like they did last year with a strong start with a 4-1, 3-1, 4-1 at the beginning of the year. Now they've stumbled. I think they're 2-5 the last 7 weeks. The Baltimore is all about Lamar. It's all about Lamar. When he's healthy and he's playing, they win. And when he's not in the lineup, they lose. And it's so consistently that way with Lamar Jackson. Either Baltimore is not designed for a backup quarterback, or they don't have a backup quarterback that can cover for when Lamar's out, because their record when Lamar's out is, I don't know it off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up, but I'm going to guess it's like 5-18, on the games that he's missed. It's in that kind of flavor of a losing record when Lamar's not there. And now he's not right. It was interesting. The line came down to 5.5 because he didn't practice yesterday, and went back up to 6 today because he did practice today. So that's how much the gambling world watches Lamar Jackson for what they're going to wager. I have to stick with the idea that you can't lay that many points and go against Tomlin in this kind of spot. It was great having Tom for as long as we did.
And like I was saying, oh, was I off?
Oh, I thought you were going to treat me the same way you did Charles. I thought I was going to go out like Charles did on his.
Oh,
I was going all right. I'm in the
I've been
Charles
talking for
Barkley
the
category.
I've been talking for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, I had 3 winners while we were out. 3 winners.
Oh God, dang it. All right, well, let's pick up. We had,
you had
Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
You had Ray Ratto driving.
Yeah,
that
Ray
tractor,
Ratto
right?
driving the John Deere. So we're good.
It was Jim Bowie,
man,
right? Was it Jim Bowie with Davy Crockett at the Alamo?
I believe so. And
when they looked over the wall, and Bowie said, "Where'd all these landscapers come from?"
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said. Thank you. Boom. We've moved into like Shane Gillis territory. Fantastic. All right, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, because we got Steve Kerr coming up pretty soon. I want to make sure we get to some games that you like too.
Yeah, so just to finish up on that, I'm looking at the concern I have with being on Pittsburgh is they gave up 200 and some yards to Buffalo last week
on the ground,
and so we're not used to Pittsburgh not having a strong defense. Buffalo was missing two tackles, I think, in that game from the offensive line, and still ran all over them. Now, it could have been motivation on the Bills, knowing that they had to pump up the rushing game. But that would be my concern with Pittsburgh. Are they going to get run out? I know that Henry isn't having the season he had last year, but he's on a pace to have 1,400 yards by the end of the year. I think he's got 9 something right now. So I'm not going to go against Baltimore here, and I think it will all be contingent on how well Lamar plays and whether he's physically able to take it. But it's not a play for me, but an interesting game.
No, definitely an interesting game. I think I'm going to be on Pittsburgh that game. All right, give me a game then. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, give me a couple of games that intrigue you that you're looking at right now.
The Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears. We're in a situation where that line is way too high, right? Come on.
Yeah.
The Bears just beat the Eagles. How could you possibly have that meant 6.5 points? That's a ridiculous line to open this game at. Well, that's how some people might look at it. And they might think it's candy to just take the team with the better record. No team has a better record since the third week as the Chicago Bears. They're 9-1 since the third week of the season. And Green Bay matches the worst point spread record of any team in the league. And now it's 6.5 points. And the people are coming in over 70% buying the points with the Chicago Bears. And I watched the line at One Sharp Book today go to 7. And I'm thinking, well, there's only one reason this would be going on. The books know who's going to win this game. And so you take it from the basics, not how well the Bears have been playing, or, both teams come in well rested. Chicago played on Friday and Green Bay the day before against Detroit and Thanksgiving. This has got to be the Packers. It's the only reason you'd have a line that high and not move it down when the Chicago money comes in. It's the old rule, don't give the books what they want.
Yep.
And they sure want you betting on the Bears here. So the Packers probably, a likelihood. I'll see what the numbers come in from the casinos. But I would suspect we'll lay those points with the Green Bay Packers in this spot.
I like that game. I'm with you on that one. All right, let me throw one in there, and then I'll let you throw one in at the end. Colts Jaguars. This is an interesting one. Interesting one, right? Because the Colts never win down in Jacksonville. Like never. I don't know when the last time they've won down in Jacksonville. And didn't the Jacksonville beat them last time they played them up here, or did the Colts, or maybe they haven't played
yet? They beat them twice last year.
Yeah, they beat them twice last year. Exactly.
This is the first time they're playing this year.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. Look, the whole Daniel Jones leg thing is kind of weird. Fractured leg, but he can play. Like that doesn't compute to me. But yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. It's interesting because I still think the Colts are a really good football team. Like I thought the Texans earn that victory. The Colts didn't give it to him last week, and I still like the Colts, but man, they struggle down there. They're outdoors. I don't know. Can I wrap my head around the Jaguars? I don't know. The Jaguars to me just leave me wanting always, even though they win football games. I mean, they've won some good football games. They're right in the mix this year. The defense is really good this year. I don't know. Maybe I need to take my preconceived notions and just say, like, Lawrence is what Lawrence is. Is an okay quarterback. He's like a pretty good quarterback. Nothing special. He's not like the number one pick type guy. He's just okay. But Liam Cohn's done a nice job down there. It's a big game. It's a big game in that division. How do you see this one?
Well, check with Daniel. He'll give you a play on this game, right? He knows which side he wants in the Jaguars game. I think we're in a situation where the Colts. Well, if I was going to be on the Jaguars here, my concern would be the running back from the Colts. He's having a great season. Who am I thinking of?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Taylor is having a great year, and so Jonathan is that's a concern that he could go nuts against his team on the ground. But this is a situation where the Colts are a 1.5 point favorite on the road, or 2, depending on, it bounces between those two numbers. And you're getting a situation where that line represents the Colts from the first half of the season, not where they are right now. And yeah, they're still the highest scoring team in the league, but they were scoring 32 points a game before the last 2 weeks when they've scored 16 and 20 or something. So that's and your quarterback's got a broken leg. I'm fine. Really? Not so much. And statistically, it doesn't look like he's fine. They're not as good. And I think that the Colts had a great first half of the season. And I'm a big believer in you only get half of a season with most teams, on either extreme, great or bad, and then they work towards the middle because the spreads come their way. Here we are with the Colts favorite on the road. No, it's the Jaguars in this spot.
Oh, you just made Ogden very happy.
Yeah, now the Jaguars have to do it. I'm a Friday happier guy, but they got to do it on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't like when people make Ogden happy. That's no fun. I like when they make him sad. It's more fun for the show. All right, give us one last game that you're going to be looking forward to digging into the numbers this week.
Yeah, let me get a sheet here because I got a few I like a lot. That's the thing. So there are some really good plays and some surprises. Here's one I'm really interested in, and I don't even know if we're going to be on it. But the Atlanta Falcons are playing the Seattle Seahawks, and the Seattle Seahawks might be at that stage where everything's gone their way. They got the Rams the loss last week against Carolina, so they caught them in the standings. They had Minnesota at home with a quarterback that wasn't drafted, never played, and they beat him 26-0. But Darnold did not have his best game.
No, they only had 215 yards offense.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Seattle. This is a tough spot for them to go to Atlanta. Atlanta stinks, but they're coming off a game against the Jets that they lost, and now they're going home. And so you got former Viking quarterback versus former Viking quarterback or whatever, right? Playing each other, Darnold and Kirk Cousins. And I think I'm probably going to be on the Falcons in this spot. Once again, I'm going to need to know that people are lining up on the Seahawks side. But this is one of those sneaky underdogs that no one's looking at. It's the Seahawks. It's like it was last. Oh, yeah, it's the Rams. It's the Rams. No, it's not. And I don't think it's the Seahawks here. I think I'm going to be on the Falcons plus those generous 7 points.
Yeah, that's intriguing because I looked at that one too. God, the Falcons always get me. I guess they didn't get me this year. Who do we have them against? Was it the Bears? Where'd they play? Outdoors?
We beat New England. We covered against
New England. That's who it was. New England, yes. Yeah. Atlanta, though. For some reason, Atlanta always Oh, here's one I dare you to take. I dare you to take the Raiders this week. You gonna take you like the Raiders over the Broncos?
That's playing Russian roulette with the game fully loaded.
I'm trying to think. Eagles, Chargers, kind of. I mean, I really like the Packers one. That's the one that I was with you on that one. I was going to bring that up, but I didn't even know you're going to get to that one. I just felt like I wanted to let you get to a few games, but I really do. I like the Packers. God, if I had any guts, I'd take the Bills over the Bengals. Everybody wants to take the Bengals now. Bengals coming off the victory over the Ravens on the road. They get T. Higgins back this week. Oh, Joe Burrow's back. It's so good, and everybody's a little down on the Bills this year. Just I would. I don't know if I can do it. 6 is a lot of points, but God, I'd like to.
About the defense plays better when Burrow's back. You know, when you start talking that way, you know, you've gone out on a limb that I don't think you're going to get back on. You know, that's pretty far out there on the skinny branches when you start saying your quarterbacks. Now, I know that Burrow is a great influence on that team. The players love him, the coaches love him. He's a gamer, you know, but he doesn't help the defense. And the defense is still a sieve. And Buffalo is chasing New England. You think they're going to keep one away at home? I like Buffalo. I'm on your side in that game. I think Buffalo wins that game 34-17.
Yeah, I like Buffalo in that game too. So, all right. So we both like the Packers. Packers we both enjoy.
Now, last time we did a show, we missed our show last week, but remember I said Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. You know, and that was easy against Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, I like Dallas. I like Dallas. I took Dallas.
Yeah, I like Dallas. Going not Dallas, Detroit. You know, so all the good stuff is already gone. Now we're just left with the scraps here. What you know? I think Green Bay
is part of the good. I think that's part of the good stuff. I think the Packers are part of the good stuff. I do. Now I'm going to be on Pittsburgh. I know you said you wouldn't be on either.
That's a tough one
in that game. Yeah, so we'll see. Well, like I said, we already got Detroit in the bag, and let's see if we can get Green Bay. That's our consensus pick of the week. The Green Bay Packers. He likes Green Bay. I like Green Bay. So go Pack, go, as they say. Pack, Dennis, as always, thank you so much. It's always fun having you on Friday. We'll look forward to doing it again next Friday, and let's see if we can. Week's off to a great start. Let's keep it going.
Hey, have a great show here with Steve Kerr. You're gonna have to introduce me someday because I'm a big fan of his from Bulls days. You know, when he was playing for Chicago and all that he's done with the Warriors. I'm just a fan. I loved when he won that first championship and he said, "I got here." I remember at the big ceremony, and he said, and I paraphrase, you know. I got here and these kids were never going to make it without me, but I pulled them together and made them something special. You know, I do
remember that.
You know, that humor. He's just such a, you know, so anyway, have a great show with Mr. Kerr.
Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
I mean, he's mostly a jerk off, but he's not on, is he? Oh shit! There he is.
I'm just glad.
What's going on, Stephen Douglas?
I'm just glad you only called me a jerk off and not something worse.
Well, you like our snow?
Yes.
You like our snow and our Christmas lights?
Beautiful.
I had a fire going on here not 5 minutes ago until I ran out of fucking propane. Now I'm cold as shit.
Looks like it's a little chilly there.
It's a little chilly. I put my ducky shorts on, my fleece ducky shorts, and I put my big Lebowski sweater on. So I'm feeling.
Love it.
I'm feeling a little bit toasty. Where you're in? No, a little pulp. Field work, Steve. I got to represent. Yeah. Although I do have hot chocolate, but it's in form of a beer. It's called Mexican Hot Chocolate Stout. It's
really
very tasty. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very good. I mean, I'll bring one. I'll sneak one into the Chase Center and bring you one after a game.
Okay.
I know you enjoy your Mexican cervezas.
I do, although I don't think I've ever had a Mexican stout. I didn't.
Mexican hot chocolate stout.
Hot
Yes.
chocolate stout. It just sounds like almost like an oxymoron.
I thought you were going to say heaven, but I mean, either or, then that's fine. All right, let's get to the games. I felt like you guys had a repeat, like 2 games in a row now. You got down, you fought back, and they were a little bit different. You held on to the lead a little bit longer in this one, and then lost probably in more gut-punching fashion than OKC. But I mean, what'd you make of those games? Because it's like, God, we're close to being run out of the gym here in the second half, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're back in it. Oh my God, we got the lead, and then it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, that last night really hurt. I mean, that was much. OKC, we made a great run, but they hit 4 or 5 really tough shots.
They did,
and we didn't do anything, anything that hurt us. It was more them just taking the win from us, but. Last night, I just felt so bad for the guys, the way they played that fourth quarter, hanging in there and then going on that great run. And I felt like we deserved it. I thought we outplayed them down the stretch. Yeah. And I feel bad that I didn't get the guys a better out-of-bounds play to get the ball in bounds when they got the steal. And it was just a gut punch. I mean, we played such great defense on Maxey that – I think Melt got his hand on the shot, and the air ball becomes like a lob pass, basically.
Yep.
And if he hadn't blocked it, he probably would have just missed it and bounced off the rim, and we walk away with the win. So that was a terrible feeling at the end of that game.
Well, I mean, I felt bad, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I mean, I thought Pat Spencer was phenomenal in the fourth quarter.
Awesome.
I mean, just phenomenal. But he completely whiffed on that box out. Like, he was up at close to the top of the key where he had no business being, because he lost sight of Edgecombe, and that's how he kind of snuck in there. So I felt bad that he played so good, but the last play of the game, he kind of I don't know if fell asleep's the right term. Maybe it is, but he kind of turned his head weak side, and Edgecombe snuck behind him.
Yeah, it's just tough though, because you just never expect an air ball, and
yeah.
So it just didn't feel right. It actually, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was the GM of the Suns, Ron Artest got a putback, exact same situation. Kobe took a shot. It was Game 5, 2010 Conference Finals, and it's 2-2 and tie game. And Kobe tries to shoot over Grant Hill. Grant plays great defense. Pretty sure it was an air ball. And Ron Artest ran in there, got a putback, basically at the buzzer for the win. And it just, it felt so brutal. That game reminded me exactly of that Artest play.
What would you have liked to have seen done differently on the out of bounds play? Because it just, I mean, obviously you don't want to have 2 guys in the same spot. And that's ultimately kind of what happened. It was like a collision, like 4 guys that were going, the ball bounced, and all of a sudden it's loose and they end up with it. What could have, should have, would have, I know I know you always feel responsible because you're the head coach. You're like, I could have drawn up a better play, but it's about executing as well. Like, what could have been done? What was the mistake, if there was one?
Well, the play was designed to isolate, Melton and Seth Curry in the front court while we occupied the guys in the back court. But what happened was, as Melton broke free, the play developed too slowly. And so Buddy thought, understandably, that there might be a 5-second violation for Pat. So Pat didn't have anywhere to throw it for the first few seconds. And because the play unfolded slowly, which is my fault, Buddy felt like he had to run up to help Pat out, and he ended up running right into the space where Melton was coming open. So it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just, I lost some sleep last night because we've got a few different plays that we run in that situation, and I just wish I had run a different one. We got caught in a tough spot. Buddy tried to save the play, and then they end up making a steal. And then even the last play, Buddy throws an incredible pass down court to Melton.
He really did.
my gosh. And Melt, how about him just like waiting till it bounced, understanding?
I know, really
That
smart.
was so smart. And Maxey made an incredible play on the block.
Did he foul him after the shot, or would it have mattered?
He definitely fouled him, but honestly, I'm fine with the ref not calling that foul. If it were the other way around, like I wouldn't want that foul either. Like I'm actually okay with the referees like sort of letting that go because I don't know. I don't think the game is as easy to officiate as just saying every play is either, black or white, right or wrong. I think you have to have some feel, and I thought the officials showed good feel there.
No, I agree with you. I did. And I wonder how, like, rule book wise, if you block the shot and let's say you run into somebody after the shot clock expires, how that. But I agree with you. Sometimes you don't need to go by the letter of the law. There's a feel to the game, and that's the one thing I think the guys that officiated during our day, the Mathises, the Strom, the Garretson, the Rushes, even though I didn't love Garretson, but all those guys had pretty good feel for the game. They just understood how to play. They were kind of there to help you. Like I still remember Earl Strom, Steve, always saying, "Tommy, don't do that. Get your hand off his back. Trying to help." He goes, and then if I did it again, then he'd go, "Boom, I got you." But I'm gonna try to make this game clean and try to make it fun and try to help guys. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know if the commissioner's office wants them to do that anymore. But I feel like these guys are a lot more robotic than the guys that officiated when we played.
They're not allowed to do that anymore. That's the main thing. And I understand, the league is trying to get everything right. And the problem is we're playing in a sport that is that lives in the gray area. I mean, literally, half the calls that happen in the game, maybe not half, but a ton of them are either or plays, and you just kind of have to live with it. But the league wants so badly to get everything right, and you can understand, right, with between all the replays we have now compared to 30 years ago, more cameras, better technology, gambling,
social media, gambling, all that
else. I think the league is trying really hard to make everything, kind of like black and white, like this is a foul, this is not. The other factor is, in the old days, you couldn't send in clips to the league. Like the teams couldn't send in 10 clips saying, hey, these are fouls. Why aren't these being called? You just didn't have the scrutiny that comes from all the league officials, coaches, and GMs questioning every single call. So I don't know. It's an impossible job for sure. But I do wish, like you're saying, I wish the officials had a little more leeway to just use some feel instead of having to make everything black and white.
Yeah. And of course, everybody's a fucking expert now on social media. Yeah, like they show the highlights and they break everything down for you, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. I mean, so many people do this, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. But the problem is there's so many thousands of people that believe these people because they didn't play either. So they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. It's like they don't know leading they know less. And they're like, oh, this guy sounds like he knows what he's fucking talking about. And I'm looking going, this guy's a fucking moron. He didn't know what he's talking about. You kidding me? He's got like 800,000 followers. I'm like, oh, what a fuck. I go, if we could put all those followers on a fucking island and then sink it, we'd be better off. Trust me.
Everybody's got a voice now, Tom. Everybody's got a voice.
Problem is, everyone doesn't need a voice. Everyone does not need a voice. But anyway, I'll say that. I'll say it for you. One thing I did notice last night, Pajemski didn't play like the last quarter and a half. I'm assuming that's just because everybody else was starting to get in the groove, play well. They got back into it. And I like that line of thinking, if that's what you were thinking. Like, Nelly used to do that too. Like, hey, these guys got us back in it. Why would I go back to the other guys? Let these guys finish it out. Was that the thinking?
Yeah. That was the thinking. The group that started the fourth quarter went on that immediate run. And at that point, you just stay with them. I mean, Guy Santos hadn't played all game. and he's a plus 17 in 11 minutes.
Yeah.
I ended up taking him out at the end because we had to get rebounders in. We had to get size for the free throw rebounds. I put Al in for Guy, but all in all, you just stay with those guys when they're playing well, and we have to reward that. We have to reward Pat Spencer in particular for his incredible play the last couple of games, and we've got an interesting dilemma on our hands because we've filled up the 15 roster spots, and Pat is one of our two-way players, and he needs to be on the roster. We all know it, but we've got to find a way to make that happen.
Is that going to have to be? I mean, how could it be via trade, 2-for-1, or does somebody have to be released? I mean, how is it possible that he finds his way onto the 15-man?
Well, thankfully, Tom, it's not my job. It's Mike Dunleavy's job. So,
well, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just asking you the mechanics of which.
The mechanics are: I pick up the phone, I go, "Hey, Mike, get me Pat Spencer on the roster," and then I hang up. So those are the mechanics right there.
Those are pretty good mechanics. I kind of like those mechanics, to be honest with you. Get him on. I want him. Fucking get it done. God damn it. Are you even on there anymore? Oh, goodness gracious. How do you, I mean, where are you hoping to be? I don't know when Steph's not going to play until you guys get back home. What's the status? I know Dre got rolled up on yesterday's foot, and Jimmy. Do you expect them back on the road trip at all?
I think there's a chance those two guys play one of the two games. They're both pretty banged up, and we'll have to see how they feel tomorrow. But to throw them both out there in a back-to-back, where they are right now, does not feel right. I suppose there's a chance neither one would play either game. It just depends on the training staff's evaluation of them today and tomorrow, and we'll have to revisit it in the morning. But we're in a tough spot right now. But it's early in the season. I have no doubt we can be a really good team, but we have some work to do. Some individual players have work, and I have some work to do in terms of lineup combinations and getting our players to understand what we have to do to be a consistent team that can win, and we're not there yet.
That they don't know by now? I mean, I know this is coaching, Steve, but Jesus Christ.
It has to become habitual. We've been talking about transition spacing since the first day of training camp, and the number of possessions we have where we don't get spaced correctly is alarming at this stage of the season. And so that means guys either have to figure it out or I have to play different guys.
Well, wouldn't you suspect? I mean, look, we played in a different era. It's not that difficult to figure out spacing. It really isn't. If you know how to play basketball, if guys haven't figured it out by now, why would you suspect they're going to figure it out? Are they going to go to bed one night and fucking wake up in the morning and go, "Oh shit, spacing! I got it now." That is fucking dream. It was crazy. Like, I mean, what does it take? I mean, seriously, what does it take?
Tom, there are a lot of thoughts going on in my head right now.
And you got to filter them.
And I got to filter them. You are correct. It should have happened by now. There is an element to this that is one guy has to read another, right? So it's not as simple as, you run to this spot every time. You have to run to different spots based on where everybody else is, and so what we hammer home all the time is run to the corners. The first two guys out have to run to the corners, but if those guys are on the same side of the floor as we're running down in transition, the first guy's got to run through to the other corner. Yes. Yeah. And so I thought last night there were 3 or 4 plays where that didn't happen, where we just stayed and we had 3 guys on one side, and then we just kind of ran into a pick and roll on the other side when we want that guy to run through and create floor balance. And And that alone is enough to impact the whole possession, because everything has happened so fast. That you got to get spaced quickly in order to attack the defense. What every team in the league is doing now is you're trying to attack the defense before they can get set.
Yeah.
The best way to score. It's the most efficient way to score. And
no, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I mean, that's the way we played when I was with the Warriors. I mean, look, we used to do the same stuff. 2 guys on the same side, lead guy goes through. He just pulls through, and either he's open or the back guy is going to be open. So the only time the back guy would run through is if Chris was ahead of me. Then I would just continue. I would continue to run through and see if I could pull somebody with me to open up Chris for a jump shot. I mean, as much as it hurt the ego, it's Chris Mullen. I mean, we'd much rather have him shooting than me shooting. So but it was understood. Someone's going through. Someone's actually going to run through to the other corner. And back then, because we didn't do a lot of 3-point shooting, so you'd run through, go around, and maybe back pick and have somebody else come through, and then continue up and maybe set a pick and roll on Timmy Hardaway or something like that. So it was just this thing that was movement. And to me, spacing is just okay. I don't want to be too close to another guy. I want to be away because I want to, and I want to put myself in driving lanes. So if somebody's not in driving lanes, but I want to give a driver a chance to see me in the corner, or if I got to slide up a little bit. I mean, that to me is like pretty, I don't want to say basic stuff, but like by this point, to me, either you know it or you don't know it. And then one of my biggest pet peeves, Steve, is this isn't just basketball. This is baseball, football. When they go, a rookie, they go, well, he's a young guy. I'm like, he's fucking been playing for 10 years. What do you mean he's young? He's fucking 22. Jesus. I mean, he was young when he was in college. Like they said that when he was a freshman in college. That's a young kid. You can't expect him to know that. Well, God damn it. When's he going to know it? Like every new level, is he young again? Does he like forget everything he remembered for the last 4 years and goes, oh God, I'm young again. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay, let's work on this again. I mean, it's just so absurd. It's just we treat them like they treat them like they're 8 years old. It's like they're fucking 22. God damn it. Let's not treat them like they're so. But I mean that. So obviously, that's what you do. You're a coach. You try to get these guys to figure out, okay, this is how we want the offense to look, and without thinking, just like move around and guys that are spacing and not dribbling, because and you correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were informed a lot, kind of like me, but you were informed a lot by playing for the Bulls. You had Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, not so much, but Jordan and Pippen were there. And the stars are going to do what the stars are going to do. They're the stars. They're just special. They do their stuff. So Steph, Clay, Draymond, guys like that do. And then everyone else has to fit that role. Everyone else has to figure out like where I fit in and what I do and how I can contribute to the team. And that's kind of the challenge, right? Is trying to tell everybody or trying to get everybody to understand, like, look, you're an important part of the team. This is how where you fit.
Right. That's exactly right. And that's, I think we're still a little bit in that phase with some of our younger guys, just in terms of, trying to get them to understand that, if we get space and the ball moves, then Jimmy and Steph are going to create shots for us because they're so good, or for themselves. And either one is good. But, trying to create a shot on our own while those guys are wide open, knowing that, we're not as efficient or as skilled as those guys, then let's move the ball. Let's get spaced and move it and play off of them.
Yep.
No question. There's some of that. And so that's that's what we're trying to navigate. And obviously when Steph goes out, things change a little bit, but that also doesn't mean, okay, now it's your turn to,
just go.
on and create something. That, in fact, that's an even more important reason that we have to get spaced and throw the ball ahead and beat the defense down the floor, because once they get set, we're just not going to be as good attacking one-on-one, you know?
Well, and I think look, we know how defenses operate nowadays. Guys are they head turners, and if you could just move the ball, move bodies, and then cut, you're going to get some good shots. Not every time down the court, of course, but you're going to get some quality shots. Pat Spencer had a great cut. And I don't know if it was Guy that passed it to him. He was on the low block, and Pat cut from the top of the key. And it was just wait till your guy turns his head, cut, and boom, you got a layup. And really, cutting, if people talk about the mid-range game being the lost art, I think cutting is the lost art. Just understanding how and when to cut, because everyone wants to space out to that 3-point line, and there's so much good stuff to be had when you cut to the bucket.
Yeah, you're right. And it's, I think if 5 or 6 years ago was the spacing era, what's expanded from there is cutting out of spacing, and that's where a lot of teams are doing some different things. Out of pick and roll, you're seeing very specific cutting from teams, trying to exploit the defense. And I think right now we're a little bit in transition. We've played a pretty unique style over the years with Draymond and Steph, and they have like their own language, those two. And so sometimes our spacing and our cutting will be a little bit random. And, we're asking our guys to be a little bit more uniformed. And so some nights we're a little bit betwixt in between with that kind of stuff. And we're working through that, but we're not where we're going to be, a month from now. But I do want to talk about DeAnthony Melton, because this guy is really good, and our fans should be really excited about him. He's a two-way player. His defense on Maxey on that last play, just how quick he is, how springy he is to block that shot. Was incredible. And I am so excited to get him back. I think he's going to make a big impact.
No, I mean, the only negative is he was a Trojan, which kind of sucks. But I mean, what are you going to do?
But only for a year, so we can forget.
Yeah, once a Trojan, always a Trojan. Trojan for a year. What are you fucking wrapping up or something? Like you put ice? You got ice?
I'm going to plug my computer in. Otherwise, we're about to, to say goodbye.
We've already done that once. My for some reason, my Wi-Fi went cuckoo, and Dennis was on before you, and we just completely cut out.
Is that right?
I was like done. Yeah, right, I was like,
I'm going to find myself an outlet here and see if
look at that beautiful artwork you got in your room there. That is just gorgeous.
Oh, there's one underneath the table, Tom. So you keep talking, and I'm going to.
Okay, yeah. Steve Kerr does not roll in just your standard rooms. He gets a sweet artwork in his room and all kinds of good stuff there in Cleveland, Ohio, where he was. I always mention the. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the air before, but I'll let you talk about the Lenny Wilkens. I just call it the Lenny Wilkens incident, and I love Lenny. I know you do too. But I always tell this story when people say, "Why does Steve leave players in so long when they're leading at the end of the games?" And I go, "Well, all coaches do, because your worst nightmare is to have to put your guys back in after taking them out. You want to make sure when you take them out, that's the end of the game." And I always reference, and maybe I'm getting the game wrong, Steve, but I always reference a game down in LA against the Clippers when you guys were up late and they put on a furious rally like in 45 seconds. All of a sudden it's like, well, shit, I got to put my guys back in with like 35 seconds left to make sure we close this thing out. So I always bring up the Lenny Wilkens story when you guys were up 32 and he stood up to go get you and put you in, and they scored two straight buckets. Go ahead, tell the story if you would.
Well, if I remember correctly, this was the game where we broke the all-time record for biggest point differential in a game. We played Miami during their expansion season, and we beat them by 68 points. And at the start of the fourth, I think we were up like 36, and I didn't start. the fourth. I hadn't played all game. I was, like the 11th man, 12th man. And they score to start the fourth, and I'm kind of looking at Lenny like I guarantee I'm not going to blow a 36-point lead, Lenny. Come on, trust me. I promise you I won't. They score again. He kind of looks down at me, and then he looks back. I'm like, Jesus. And I finally got in for like the last 10 minutes, and it got so out of hand that we broke the all-time record, 68 points. I think it was 148 to 80.
Oh, Jesus. Good Lord.
The record was finally broken about 2 years ago.
Was that a Memphis game?
I think it was a Memphis game, and I can't remember who they beat, but they beat somebody by like 73. Yeah. So that record it lasted a long time, but my teammates and I, we all got together
every year. Like the Dolphins?
Every year, like the Dolphins, the 72 Dolphins, cracked open a bottle of champagne, but unfortunately, it's over. But everything must come to an end.
There it is right there. 73, Memphis defeated the Thunder. Wow.
How quickly things change.
I know, 73 points. 73 points they beat them by. The only record I think a team that I was on has is the Warriors and the Nuggets. I think we are the highest scoring game in regulation in the history of the league. I think we beat them. I think we beat them 162 to 158 in regulation. Yeah.
Wow. That's a
how many
Don Nelson special.
And Paul Westphal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Paul Westphal. You know how many threes we shot that game?
How many? Less than 10.
4.
4.
4.
You scored 162.
162. How about this? They had 130 field goal attempts.
Whoa.
Yes. We had 109 field goal attempts.
Oh, my God.
Not only did we have 109 field goal attempts, we had 52 free throw attempts.
Oh, geez.
And I think they had like 40-something free throw attempts. I mean, it was insane. Absolutely insane. So Nelly comes up to me before the game, and he goes, okay, here's what we're going to do. He goes, when we score, he goes, to stop them from getting, because they're going to go. They're going to go. We want to hold them up for a beat. He goes, when we score, we want you to jump in front of Michael Adams. And for those that don't know, Michael Adams, like 5'10", jitterbug, just beep, 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 beep. Like, I'm not going to stay in front of Michael Adams. But Nelly's like, I want you to stay in front of Michael Adams. Just make him take a beat before they inbound the ball. So I'm like, okay, cool. And we're in Denver altitude. We must have scored 8 of our first 10 possessions. Like, we're just bam, 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 bam. So I find Michael Adams, go front him. He goes this way. I go that way. He goes, and then all of a sudden he's open. They get it to him. He goes down court. They shoot it within 8 seconds. Pass, shot. Here we come back the other way. Make a bucket. Get Michael Adams again.
Altitude.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. He like fakes me out again. He gets the ball, goes. This goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes.
You're dying.
I was like, I'm dying. Like, I swear it's the most I've ever been in an NBA game. But I had like in the first 4 minutes, I had like 8 points and 4 rebounds. I was like rolling. I was like hitting jumpers and stuff. I was like killing myself. I was hitting jumpers, but then I'd have to like find him and go front him. So I was like, God, I should miss. So I would have to front him. So anyway, I had like, again, I think at the 6-minute mark, I had like 10, 11 points. Like I had a really good game going. I had to tap out. I was like, somebody come get me. I'm gonna die out here. Like, I'm literally gonna die. So I go up to Nelly and I go, I'm not doing anything. I go, I'm not making a difference at all. He goes, I just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, but I'm not. But I'm not. I'm not affecting him. Like, I'm not. Like, literally, I would chase him down the court. He would pass it. They would shoot it, and then we would go. I was like running deep sixes in Denver. I'm like, this is the worst. This is the worst thing ever. So all those shot attempts, Steve, and everything, I ended with 18 and 12. Pretty good numbers. but I left some shots on the table, and there's so many possessions. The numbers were inflated. So I walk in and we won the game. So I walk in the locker room, and Nelly's got the box score in front of me. Looks at it. He goes, "Hey, those are pretty good numbers for such a fucking shitty game. Go grab yourself a beer."
Thanks a lot, Coach.
First game of the year. I'm like, geez. Would have pumped me up. I go, what could have been better if you wouldn't have had me fronting Michael Adams' old band game? You're killing me out there.
Oh my God.
I'm assuming you were on the Bulls, weren't you, when you played Paul Westfall's Denver Nuggets?
Gosh. No, Westhead. Paul Westhead.
Yeah, Westfall. Yeah, Westfall was Suns. Yeah, I know Paul Westfall. Yeah, Paul Westhead. Thank you.
Yeah,
no, you were on Cleveland at that point, weren't you?
I think I was on Cleveland, probably. Yeah,
you were on Cleveland.
But I got my own story for you about fronting the inbounds guy if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love. How often do we get this? 2 fronting the inbound stories.
That's right. So the last game of my NBA career, regular season, I was playing for the Spurs. Danny Ferry and I were teammates, and we had both decided to retire. So we knew it was each of our last regular season games. And we made a series of bets on who could get the most shots up. And one of the big bet was who could get the last shot up of our respective careers. Okay. So
that's a good one.
The game was meaningless. Okay. We had already wrapped up the number 1 seed, I think, in the West. And so we're both out there. Avery Johnson is playing for Dallas. And we had like 7 or 8 different bets. If you took a left-handed shot, there was more money. We had all kinds of back. We're having so much fun out there. So Danny gets like a putback with his left hand with 45 seconds left, and the big bet was like $100 last shot of our careers.
Okay.
So that Dallas gets the ball with 25 seconds on the shot clock. And I'm thinking Avery Johnson, their point guard, is going to run the clock out. And so he runs it all the way down. Ferry's looking at me like, I've won this bet. He's running it down. Avery decides to shoot it with like 3 seconds on the shot clock. Thankfully, it goes in. So there's like 2 seconds left. Clock stops, right? Malik Rose, our teammate, goes to inbound the ball. Danny and I both race over the inbounds pass. Okay. So I get there first. I catch it. I turn. Danny is now guarding me, my teammate. And for some reason, Sean Bradley, who was playing for Dallas, he jumps up to guard me 80 feet from the hoop, 90 feet from the hoop in a 20-point game. I'm being double teamed by my teammate, Danny Ferry, and Sean Bradley, 7'6". I take a hard dribble to my right, and I heave an 80-foot hook shot all the way the other way. Okay. Meanwhile, we watched the tape. Pop and Don Nelson are at half court shaking hands. They're both kind of looking at like, what the hell is going on over there? Right. So Danny says, well, you didn't get the shot off. I said, yes, I did. We go in and we look at the tape in the video room, and it clearly left my fingers with 0.1 on the clock. But then the stat sheet comes in. They didn't give me credit for the 3-point attempt.
Oh.
And so then it became a huge legal battle. But I hired lawyers.
Legal battle.
Danny hired his lawyers, and we had to negotiate who got the last shot off of our.
You should have done at the end of the game. You should have went like this.
Challenge.
I want to challenge.
Oh God!
Is that the worst thing now that everybody does this? Every player. Doesn't matter what happens.
No matter what happens, yeah. My favorite is when you've already used both challenges and your players are still going like that. You're like, yeah, no, we don't have one left. But
no, my favorite is when they go like this, and then you look at the replay, and they clearly fucking raked him across the hand. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you do? No, At least be close. At least be close. It's it's so funny you tell that story because I wonder how many of those stories happen over the course over NBA history. Because Matt Bullard was playing for Houston, and I go into Houston. I was with the Warriors, and me and him were out there shooting before the game. And I don't know if he said it or I said it. It sounds like something I would say, but I don't have any recollection of saying it. I said, "Hey, let's have a bet on tonight's game. Let's do $20 for the first three, $20 for the first dunk." He's like, "All right, cool."
No
I figured
way.
I figured I was more likely to get the dunk. He was more likely to get the three. So I got the dunk rather early. I remember coming off I don't know. You know what? I might have been with No, I think I was with the Warriors. I was going to say I might have been with the Magic at the time, but it didn't really matter to the story. So I get the dunk early. It's like a pick and roll, get it back, dunk it. And so I'm up 20. So now I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to try to get a three before he gets in. I didn't shoot a lot of threes, but I was like, I got to try to get a three before he even gets in the game. I started. He was coming off the bench. So I get the ball in the corner right in front of the Rockets bench. And shoot, there was probably still like 18 seconds left on the shot clock. I was like, fuck it, I'm shooting it. So I shoot it, bottom. I look over at Bullard and I go, "That's 40. Thank you." And I ran down the other end of the court.
He wasn't even in the game yet.
He wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the game. Had no chance to get his money back. Nothing. I was like, I'm good. Because that was my thinking. I'll go, if I can get these, I wasn't planning on getting both of them, but if I could get, one of them before he gets in, I'm good. And then I'll work on the other one. But I get the chance. I got the dunk early. I was like, oh crap. I can get both these things.
Well, the amazing thing now, Tom, is that FanDuel has that exact proposition for current players.
Who gets Matt Bullard and Tom Tolbert?
Too soon.
Here's the thing. That's never too soon. Okay. Here's what I think they should do. I'm curious to get your thoughts. Okay. I think they should take all unders on prop bets off the board.
Get rid of it.
If you want to do overs, okay, that's fine. But no more unders, because those are the ones that get manipulated by players playing 30 seconds and then feigning an injury or not wanting to shoot. It's like, just get rid of the unders and you should be good to go.
You have to, and I think every sport has to look into that. The baseball stuff with the first pitch ball, the guys were getting.
Oh yeah. The Clause and the other guy for the Guardians.
I mean, there has to be some responsibility that comes with these partnerships, with the leagues, where the leagues have to figure this stuff out. Like you got to monitor stuff and because there's just too many things that can be manipulated, and so I'm sure that's happening, in the wake of all this stuff in every sport the last year.
Yeah, well, I think they monitor them because that's how they got caught. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, I don't mean monitor. I'm saying you got to get rid of that stuff.
Yes. I totally agree. I mean, I'm still like, God, really? Your Clause is it worth throwing a ball for like $15,000 when you make $5-6 million a year? But whatever. I mean, that's really not the point. The point is we shouldn't give these guys the opportunity to do something like that. Now, I know DraftKings, FanDuel, and those guys will say, well, this is a big moneymaker for us. People like betting $5 on this. It's kind of fun to do. Guess what? You'll find something else. You'll find another prop to bet. You'll find something else to do. Right. Whatever happened to the good old days, Steve, where it's just the game and the side and the total. That's it. Just the side and the total. Not the props, not the this, maybe even a teaser every now and again. But not all this prop crap.
The side, the total, and the 2-team teaser.
And the 2-team teaser, or the nuances of the 2-team teaser. Oh, that was pretty funny. We used to have an FEA guy that came to visit us every year. Not the same guy, right? And it was I'm guessing it was a lot more simple than it is nowadays. The meetings were fairly straightforward. Look, if anybody comes to you, wants any information, how's your teammates doing? How's everybody feeling? Is everybody sick? Anybody injured? Stuff like that. And they want that type of information. Then don't give it to them and let us know what's going on. that was pretty much it. Straightforward. It's a little more complex nowadays. But I remember when the guy.
Can I intervene?
Yes, please. I would appreciate you intervening.
This is in our Wildcat locker room at U of A, and the guy continues, and he starts to go into this explanation of how the point spread works. And he goes, "You guys, there was a football game here last night. Arizona was favored by Fresno's by 9.5 over Fresno State. So that means if you bet on Arizona, they had to win by more than the 9.5 for you to win your bet. However, if you bet on Fresno State, they had to lose by less than 9.5." He was very particular, giving us these details. Meanwhile, the whole team knew that you had a bookie and were betting on games all the time, right? And so everybody's like, "Oh God, what's Tolbert going to say here?" Because you had your hand raised. But I remember when he was explaining it to me, we're all sitting there like, "Yeah, we know how this works, Mr. FBI guy," right? It was almost like the scene in Trading Places when the two old guys are explaining.
Yeah. Pork bellies.
You might find bacon on a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
That's right. And Eddie Murphy goes.
That's what the moment reminded me of. So there's Tom raising his hand, and we're like, "Oh God, what's he going to say?" And you go, "Oh, yeah, I understand that, but could you explain the nuances of the two-team teaser?"
And he did.
And he did. He did. He did. We're all muffling our laughter, knowing that you probably had 3 two-team teasers the day before.
So what you do is you take 6 points, and let's say it's -7, and you can be -1 or +13. But you have to. You know what? What would have been fucking great if I would have just fucking stood up and go, "Let me fucking do this meeting, okay? Let me. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I got this, FBI guy.
I got this. Let me go ahead and do this for you."
Too good.
All right, Stevie. Well, I will let you go. It's always a pleasure catching up with you. I'm glad you like the lights and the snow. And how's the weather in Cleveland, by the way?
It's snowing outside, so yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. There's snow on the ground in Cleveland. So.
Oh, fantastic! I guess I don't know.
I could have turned it around the camera and actually had real snow falling, unlike this graphic that you have created. But anyway,
our guys, we like the festivities. We're one of these when we do the fireside chat. When you come back, we do it at night. I'm putting some lights up in the canopy, so we'll have a little ambiance, and then I'll have a fire too. Like I said, I ran out of propane, so it's a little chilly out here right now.
Sounds like I need to just come back over there and have a real fireside chat.
Well, anytime you want to come over, you're more than welcome. Lou says she misses you desperately.
Oh, and I her.
You'll have to do next time you come over. You have to bring Lou. You have to bring your Lou and my Lou. They get Lou and Lou.
That could be disastrous.
What a shit show that would be. That'd work out almost as well as people that know how to space. Anyway, let's move out of here. Let's go. There's Lou right there. All right, Stevie, have a good night. Have a good weekend. Hopefully, you guys pick up a win or two, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tommy.
All right, Stevie. Talk to you. All right, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Oh my God. Yeah, I could have done that meeting. I could have done the FBI meeting. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm like proud of that. Like I gamble. Sometimes I wish I didn't, but it is what it is. I am who I am. But blame my mom on that one. My mom gambled. She played cards. And she still likes playing cards, plays bingo in Vegas, lives in Vegas. So I'm sure I got that from her. But yeah, I like you guys know I like betting games and doing my thing. And so anyway, if we got any comments, questions, we can do that for a little bit. I mean, it'd be nice if I had my fire going. You want me to talk about the Clippers and Chris Paul? Well, here's what I know. And I don't know this. Look, I know a lot of people in the league. And I have heard that he was he was a pain in the ass to deal with. Because he was basically a bench guy, right? He was a bench guy that wasn't going to play all the time, going to play a little bit here, a little bit there. Chris Paul's toward the end of his career, and that it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Him on the bench. Chris Paul likes to dominate meetings, and Chris Paul is really, really smart, but one of those guys who always smartest guy in the room, always knows better, always has, I won't say the last word, but yeah, it wasn't, look, I mean, you realize how unpleasant he must have been to be around, to get rid of him in the middle of the night, an all-time Clipper. I mean, you can do your Mount Rushmores and stuff. He's got to be on the Clippers Mount Rushmore, doesn't he? He might be the head of the Clippers Mount Rushmore. I mean, who's on the Clippers Mount Rushmore? Don't know. Danny Manning, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. I don't know. I mean, they don't have like an extensive list of great players on that team. So he might be Mr. Clipper. That's not what they wanted. They did not want to do this. So Elton Brand, thank you. Elton Brand, very, very good for the Clippers. But this is not the way they wanted to go down. So I'm guessing he was a massive, massive pain in the ass. That's the only reason they would have got rid of him. Because like Tyronn Lue is very well respected. Very well respected. And he's a very good player. I was never a Chris Paul fan, even though I respect him. I respected him when he went to OKC and got that team to the playoffs. And I thought he would just be like, really, I'm going from Houston to OKC. And so I not gained a lot of respect. I always had a lot of respect for the way he played, but that just enhanced it. Like, I was like, wow, man, look at this guy. Still leading these guys because he had a chance to win a championship in OKC or in Houston. Then he goes to OKC. It's like, shit, I got to go to all these young guys and go do this, and he led him to is it the playoffs or the play-in game? But as far as there's certain things about him that I couldn't stand. You can't be a flopping tough guy, okay? And I hate guys that flop and then want to be tough guys. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Just stop. One or the other. You want to be a tough guy, be a tough guy. You want to be a flopper, be a flopper. Don't try to be both. I did that part of it I had no respect for whatsoever. But a great player, one of the greatest Clippers. And again, I got to imagine he was a massive, massive, massive pain in the ass while he was there. If they were going to cut him in the middle of the night, basically 11 o'clock at night, come. Frank wants to see you. Okay, this will be good. It wasn't good, but we'll see what happens with him. But the Clippers are in a bad way right now. They're just bad. That's a bad team right now, and so. Yeah, I mean, look, the feel of the game is obviously being taken out with all the technology. There's no doubt about it. They want to get everything right. And I've said this from the get-go. And I know it's because of social media. It's because everyone has an account, everyone's an expert, and everyone wants to, do their NBA videos or NFL videos or Major League Baseball videos. And this is what happened, and this is what they should have done, and this is what you got to do. And this, it's just, if you didn't have that, you could do more feel of the game. But now everyone wants to have everything right. Everybody wants to have everything right. And to me, that's not. Are you serious? What are we doing? Like, can we just sit down? To me, the role of technology and replay wasn't to get everything right. It was to correct the egregious mistakes. But now that you have technology and replay, everyone wants everything right because everyone's an expert. You miss a 3-2 pitch outside the box by a half an inch, and people are pissed. Oh, that was a ball. That was a ball. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, it's going 96 miles an hour and he missed by half an inch. It's a ball. That box is the worst thing for baseball because that's all people watch. Oh, he could look at Nick the box. That got the box. And so I'm tired of it. I think when Curry, Butler, Green, Melton play together, we're going to see the true ceiling of the Warriors. That's from Andrew Barrett. I mean, yeah, this isn't the Warriors, right? This isn't the Warriors. But still, what is their ceiling? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know OKC is a couple steps ahead of everybody. I think Denver, when they're healthy, Brown and Gordon have been missing. They're probably a half a step ahead of the rest. And then everyone's together. And I do include the Warriors in there, even though the Warriors' record says otherwise. But, I mean, you got to prove it at some point. You do got to prove it at some point. And again, the whole spacing thing, that was like second nature to me. It just seems so easy, spacing. And some of these guys still don't get it. It's like, look, if you don't get it now, I know, and look, that's a coach's job, right? Coaches coach, and they continue to coach. You're not just going to say, well, you don't get it. Like, why even try? They're not going to say that. Of course they're not. But I'll say it for them. Like, if you don't understand it by now, it's fucking done. You're done. It's over. You don't get it. If you don't have a feel for the game by now, you're not going to have a feel for the game. If you don't know what spacing is now, you're not going to know what spacing is. So I'm sorry. I don't want to hear, oh, they're young. They're young. Like, how many years do you need to play basketball before you're not young anymore? Do you get to be young at every level? Oh, he's a freshman in high school. He's young. He's a freshman in college. Oh, he's young. He's a rookie in the NBA. Oh, he's young. Like, that could stop. I always hated those excuses. Now, going into a different level, the game speeds up, so you're going to make a few more mistakes. I get that. But I don't care if you're 23. If you've been in that same division, same league for 4 years, no, the young doesn't cut it anymore. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You got to be able to, you have to learn by then. And if you don't, you're not going to learn. You're just not. All right, what do we got? Who deserves to get in the playoffs if BYU wins the Big 12 championship, Miami or Notre Dame? I go Miami. I mean, even though I think Notre Dame might be better at this point, I think Notre Dame actually might be favored over Miami by a point or two. I mean, now look, I don't think BYU is going to win. And let's not forget, I mean, Alabama has a lot of good wins. They lost to Florida State. Florida State stinks. So I think Bama deserves to be in, but, it's not like they were dominant in their wins. So, but she's nuts. She is just straight nuts right now. But I think Miami, look, they beat them head-to-head. Now, look, they beat them at home, too. It wasn't like they got a chance to play in Notre Dame. That makes a difference. It wasn't like they played on a neutral. That makes a difference. I mean, they got them at home, but they beat them. And the results of the common opponents are pretty similar. And they have, if Notre Dame's really good, they have a good win. Notre Dame doesn't have a great win. They got USC. That's it. They lost at A&M at home. They lost to Miami on the road. So I would go with Miami. I'd like to see both of them get in, but unless they get rid of conference championships, which they never will, and unless they get rid of the little dude, they never will, and I don't think they should. The little guy should have a seat at the table, even though they don't have a chance to win. It's still kind of fun to see if you can get an upset or two. But you're never going to get the top 12 teams. You're never going to get the top. And look, they don't need that many. They need 4. They don't need 12 teams to decide the championship. Although maybe I will say this. I may admit to being wrong on this now that NIL and transfer and all that's on the table. Maybe there are more teams that have a chance to win a national championship. I think I said last show that if you're not in the top 4, you're not winning. Well, Ohio State wasn't in the top 4 and they won. So I made a mistake in saying that last year, but look, they were a top 4 team last year. It's just they didn't get a chance to play at home because they lost to Michigan. But I would take Miami. I would take Miami over Notre Dame. I'd like to see both of them in it, but that's not going to happen. After today's draw, look, I watched that for like 5 minutes and I turned it off. I couldn't watch it anymore. I got through the Brady and half of the Shaq, and I don't even know who the other people were on the right-hand side. That was like the worst TV show of all. I was like going, what is going on? It's just terrible. Again, watching this at 11 o'clock in the morning is awful. And so, yeah, the 18s making the playoffs is cool, Adam, but you're still going to have, if you want to invite the small guy. Like, I want to see James Madison or Boise or Tulane or North Texas or something like that. I want to see somebody like that get in it. And so let me look right now. What do we have? We have United States, Paraguay, Australia. That doesn't seem. How good's Paraguay? Paraguay any good? I know Australia is better than they're okay. Did anybody get like the group of death? Who got the group of death? Brazil. That seems Morocco's okay, I guess. Haiti and Scotland. Canada, Qatar or Qatar, if you will. Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, France, Senegal, Norway, Argentina, Jordan, Portugal. Good fucking Lord. How many teams are in it? They're like 48. Didn't they say 48? 48 teams in the World Cup. Good night. Is that it? Like, I mean, look, here's the thing with the World Cup. You know the teams are going to advance. Like, you know about half of them that are going to advance. For the most part, France, going to advance. England, going to advance. Brazil, going to advance. Spain, going to advance. Argentina, probably going to advance. You know who's not in it this year? Who didn't qualify? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're listening to this, I think Italy got booted. They didn't even qualify. That was like one of the bigger shockers of the qualification tournaments. Is like Italy. No thanks. You're not invited to this. And Italy's won this thing a few times too. So that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know what the group looks like. Like, I think Australia's okay. I think they're pretty good. But I don't know Paraguay. Okay, there you go. But friendlies. Yeah, I never know about friendlies. I never know if everybody's playing. Is anybody if everybody's playing? It wasn't didn't and they beat him because I don't think Pulisic played, did he? Okay, Italy faces Northern Ireland in a playoff semifinal match. If they win, and Azzurri will play either Wales or Bosnia, whatever that means. So Italy still has a chance. Like, they're not in it now, but they have a chance to qualify. I'm looking forward to it though. It should be fun. I don't know what games, if anybody's going to get down to some games at Levi's. I'm going to try to go, especially if the U.S. squad's playing. I'll try to get down to the to Levi's. Maybe if they're not playing, I'll just go down there and take in the action because that'd be kind of fun. The noise, the pageantry, all that kind of stuff. But no, I'm looking forward to it. There's nothing better than just sitting around. Summer, weather's good, just hanging out in the house, nothing to do. Go get some exercise and come and sit your ass on the couch for like 4 hours and watch some World Cup soccer. But yeah, I do like watching. I do like watching football. I'm not that well versed in it. So you guys will be leading me along. You guys will be teaching me the who's good, who's not good. I know the basics. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. All right. I can still see my breath. All right. I did run out of fire, by the way. The fucking fire pit just went out on me. I was smelling propane. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I got propane over here. Go watch the football games tonight and get that all good to go. So anyway, any more questions? Anybody? Last call. I'm out of beer too. So I need to hit the refrigerator before I get out of here. And it's a little chilly. And I didn't turn my fountain on. I was like, okay, we're good to go, but then we weren't good to go. We weren't good. It could have been better. So next week, Brent Jones, no show this weekend. So go enjoy whatever you're gonna do. Not that you wouldn't. Not that you plan your day around my show. Yeah, what are we gonna do today? I don't know what we're gonna do today, but you better get it done before like 4:30. Tom's show's coming on. That's the great thing about this. You can watch it whenever. You can watch it before, you can watch it after, you can watch it like tomorrow, you can watch it next day, all kinds of good stuff. So, all right, Fieldwork, our sponsor. We love Fieldwork. I love Fieldwork. Pulp, boop. There's your pulp can. That is their flagship IPA, by the way. And you can get it down at the tank as well. But they are the official non-alcoholic craft beer of the San Jose Sharks. So you can get all their non-alcoholic stuff down there. But if you want something a little more leaded, then grab a pulp. And if Tyler Toffoli tallies, whether it be an assist or a goal, you can get 50% off at your local Fieldwork the next day, whether that be a pulp or a non-alcoholic beverage. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. The Christmas lights look good. And the tree. And I like the framing here, too. We got the two trees, like boom and boom. And yeah, this is looking good. I like this. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Look forward to talking to you guys next week. Like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll have some more goodies for you. We're hoping in the next week or two to get Mike Breen on, talk a little NBA basketball. Dave Fleming said he would come on with me and talk college football playoffs. So we'll do that with Flem. Definitely going to get some propane. Definitely when these guys come out, I'm definitely going to get some fire. Get the fire going here. Because, again, it's a little chilly. And, I mean, I don't mind. I get a little chilly, but when the guests come over, I got to have fire for the guests. So everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the football tonight, the football tomorrow, getting your Christmas stuff up. I got my stuff up today. Lights up, trees up, boom. Just got a few little things to tinker with, and we're good to go. So everybody have a great weekend. Decorations, football, all that kind of good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.
And remember this, Tommy T, cash and tickets is what it's all about.